Hello, everyone, and welcome back to your favorite podcast. It's called Stop the Internet Podcast. I'm Kelly.
And I'm Trisha.
We're doing a part 2. We're holding ourselves accountable, and we're doing the part 2 that we always talk about, but never actually do. So we're talking about social media today. Our part 1 was a few weeks ago, I think, at this point, maybe a month or so ago. We'll link it in the description. But that one was really about social media, and it happened to all be about relationships and like dating and that kind of thing. So we're going to do family drama today, which I'm excited about.
Ooh.
We're going to keep it short and let's jump right into it.
Okay, so I have a personal story that is relevant to this that we'll start with. So a friend of a friend told me about this. So the once
Main
removed
character.
friend, is expecting. She's due soon. She and her husband have decided that they don't want to post their baby on social media, and they actually, I don't think they've really posted much about the pregnancy either, but like it makes sense in today's age, but they've been getting pushback from family members, which is very interesting. I guess it makes sense. You'll always get pushback about whatever choices you make for your children. You know what I mean?
That's a
like,
whole other
thing. It is, but it's also like feels kind of unavoidable. But yeah, there's just like a lot of family members that like don't understand why they're doing this, and they're like, well, I could still post like this, right? And the couple is like, well, no, we're trying to avoid like any posts at all. It's just very interesting.
I feel like there's so many stories about family members that are so like set on posting their grandkids or nieces and nephews or whoever the relationship is. I also think it comes with like age, I guess, because maybe older people don't understand that it can be dangerous to share pictures of children.
Right.
But I think people are so obsessed with social media. It's getting to the point where it's a problem. I guess it's not getting to a point. It is a problem. But it's like, why do you care that much to share pictures on Facebook of your grandkid or nephew or whatever?
Right.
It's so bizarre. Like, what is the reasoning? Like, you just want all these random people to see?
I know. I mean, it's like a known thing that like older generations seem to like love Facebook.
Yeah.
The most of all those social medias. And I feel like it's like if you're our age and you use Facebook, it's kind of funny. Even though I still do. But I guess like in their mind, they're just keeping up with all of their like old friends that they, you know, reunited with at their 20-year high school reunion, or like great uncle George who lives out in Montana or something. So I feel like in their minds, they're just trying to like keep updated with people and like keep in touch. But you have to understand that people are using social media for evil, for sure.
Yes.
And like it, no matter how safe or private or whatever your account may be, like it still poses a threat to people.
I feel like it has to do with stubbornness, and then also like just the fact that they don't even know and they don't realize that it can be negative. And I almost feel like it's like old people and kids are on the same wavelength.
Yes.
Like you have to teach children about internet safety and you have to teach old people about internet safety, and none of them believe you.
Yes.
Like,
because it's
why?
like, oh, like you can tell me these horror stories, but that won't happen to me because I'm careful.
That is such I feel like that's a thing that everyone has, this like complex, and it's so dangerous, but that is so true. The like, well, it's not going to happen to me. Like that happens to other people's kids. It's not going to happen to mine. Or that happens to that family. Like I'm not going to do that though. And it's like, no, it doesn't happen to you until it does.
Yes.
Oh, that is
it's always
so true.
A freak thing. It's never expected, and it's never like you can prevent it because like it will happen in the matter of seconds. Like whatever it is. Yeah. Jinxed.
It just annoys me so much hearing stories like that, because it's like people can't be respected for one decision they make. Like you would think that if a parent was like, we want to do the absolute most to protect our child's safety, privacy, whatever, to set them up so that they can make every decision about their name and likeness in the future. And we're not going to post any of it. Wouldn't you think that people would be like, oh, that's a cool decision to make. Good for you.
Yeah.
No, they're going to fight you on it?
Yeah, apparently.
No, we want to post your infant child on the internet for all of our random friends to see. Like,
yeah.
You can't even respect a parent that's trying to keep their kids' privacy and safety at the forefront. Like, that's what you're fighting against.
Right.
They literally don't get it.
Also, like, not to be rude, but you're not special. Like, I just feel like the internet is so oversaturated with, like, baby pictures and first this and first that and, like, weddings and like, we get it. I sound like such a negative Nancy, and I'm sorry, but also, like, it's not the end of the world if you don't put up a post. Everyone's lives will go on, including your own.
Yes.
And you can text pictures or write letters and send mail. Or, I don't know. Like, I think there's just almost more meaningful ways to keep in touch with people.
Yeah. Like, I get that social media is easy. And it's like, oh, you just put this up. Now everyone knows and you don't have to explain it to, like, different groups or whatever. But no, that's so true. Like, this is just also my personal opinion. And I'm going to, no, I can't say I'm going to do it. But I was going to say I'm going to do it when I have kids, but I don't think I'm going to. I'll use a wedding as an example. Mm-hmm. I'm a wedding photographer. I value wedding photos. I think they're so beautiful. I predict that if and when I get married, I will be posting my wedding photos like every single day for a year. I'll use that as an example. So I get why people do it. Like, I get why you want to share these photos because they're so, like, beautiful and they mean so much to you. But that is so true. Like, in the nicest way possible, you aren't that special. So if you're wondering, like, oh my God, should I post this or should I not? It's like, nobody cares.
Yeah.
Nobody is thinking about it except you. And I was actually thinking about that today because I just reposted an Instagram story that it was a selfie that my friend took. And then I just reposted her story when she tagged me in it. And in my mind, I'm like, ooh, should I repost this and then post this other selfie along with the photo that I took of the glass on the table and, like, put it like this or this layout. And then I'm like, what am I doing?
Right. This
literally could not matter less. Like, a selfie going on my Instagram story. Mm-hmm. Yeah, people don't even look at it. Nobody even cares. Mm-hmm. And, like, the baby photos, like, I love certain babies. Like, there are babies that I adore. But, like, do I need to see 17 photos of them every single day? No. Nobody cares as much as you do.
Right.
So, like, if you're posting them or you're not posting them, unless you're literally Taylor Swift or, like, Kylie Jenner, nobody fucking cares. Mm-hmm. Like, you're not special. Like, I am not special. No one's going to care about my wedding photos. No, in, like, the nicest way possible. Like, I'm not saying nobody cares about me or, like, blah, blah, blah. But it's like, I don't need to share every single thing I've ever done in my life because, like, I'm not that interesting. And neither are you.
Yeah.
Just the general you.
No.
In the nicest way possible, though. Like, I'm really not trying to be negative. But like, it is true that literally nobody cares as much as you do and nobody thinks about it as much as you do. Mm-hmm. Like, I'm literally just going on a rant. I'm just, and I'm not trying to say that. Bat. Yeah, like, I'm not trying to say that I don't care. I go on Instagram, you know, most days just like everybody else. Mm-hmm. And there are people whose stories I watch and they are very entertaining or like whatever they're doing that day. Like, I am gaining some sort of like entertainment out of it in a way. So I don't even know like exactly what I'm describing, but there are also times where I will like click through stories and like I could not care less about like every single like piece of food this person ate this day. Like, I don't know. It just, I guess it depends on the person and the content that they're posting, but it's never like if someone's posting their kids, like that's usually a like click off for me. Cause like I love your kid and I want the best for them in life, but like I just don't really care about like their soccer game that day. Like, is that bad? I don't know.
No, I feel like I had that realization like maybe in college where we would like go out and do things and take all these pictures, and if you didn't post within that week, like it was too late and it was weird to post later, and you had to like think of a caption that maybe would explain why you're posting late.
Oh my god, yes.
There was just so much pressure around it. And then because like I was like, I like social media for the aspect that it's almost like a scrapbook and it keeps all your pictures in one place, and it's like kind of a like record of your life in some like I appreciate that, and I recognize that that's really nice for a lot of people. But also it was kind of freeing when I realized like I don't have to post every major event in my life.
Yeah.
Like I just don't, and I can keep the pictures to myself and I can look at them whenever I want, and like it just doesn't matter. And if I do want to post them eventually, I can post them like whenever I want.
Yeah.
And like, you're just not that special that people are like waiting for your pictures to come up every day.
I think
like no one cares that much. And it was very
what
freeing.
I'm thinking of. Yes. Yeah, because nobody else is sitting around. Like, yeah, it's not that I don't care when people post, because I follow so many people that I find interesting. Like my girlfriends who are surfing that day, and like I'm eating that content up. Like these girls that I follow that snowboard every day in California. Like I love this content. And then my friends that are out at the bar, like what are they wearing? Like it is interesting, and I do like to consume it. But that I think is what it is. I'm not sitting around being like, when is like this girl gonna post her next story? And like if she doesn't post a story that day, am I sitting around being like, wait, but I wonder what she's doing? I wonder what her kid is doing today.
Right.
No, like sure, it's cute if you post it, but like nobody's sitting around waiting for it. So if you feel this pressure of like, oh my God, I have to post her, it didn't happen, like I promise you don't. And I also agree with it. Like in college, even a few years after college, I guess it was probably up until like, I don't know, just a few years ago, like relatively recently, I also felt that too. Like I was like, you have to post everything. And like, if you don't post, it didn't happen. Like that, like that jokey phrase, like picture, it didn't happen. And it's like, people actually live by that. And I used to too. And now like, I still feel like remnants of like that idea, like creeping in on me every once in a while. But I also, one time I went on vacation with my family and I didn't take any photos and I didn't post one thing about it. And I was like, that's like kind of crazy. Like that is so rare for me, at least. I know some people don't give a shit about social media ever, but like for me, it would be so rare to travel and not post about it. And then I did that and I was like, dude, that is actually kind of crazy that I went on a full vacation and nobody knows. Like, but like I'm also cool. Who cares?
Yeah.
Like, also nobody cares. Like, I don't know. I feel bad saying nobody cares, but I guess it is just like, if anyone were to ask me like, please don't post my child, I'm not going to be like, see, but I guess I can see where someone would be coming from, because we're saying like, yeah, nobody's sitting around like waiting for you to post. There are times when people do sit around waiting. Yeah. If you know that someone you love is having a baby, like, yeah, you're sitting around waiting. And like, there have been times when a celebrity or celebrity adjacent person is having a baby and I'm like really curious about the name. Like I feel like a lot of people really love hearing new names and like, oh, what did they name the kid? Like I love learning when somebody names their baby. So I definitely have had times where I've been like waiting for someone to post because I want to see the name. So I get that. And I get that like if you know that your friend's maybe niece is having a baby and your friend's been taught, I'm thinking like old ladies out at like brunch or whatever, and they're like, I know like this woman's like niece is having a baby, like I can't wait to see. Like I get it, there are
the
people
voice
right, yeah, that's what they all sound like too.
Yeah, it's crazy.
I get it that people do wait sometimes, but if you're really waiting, like I don't know, there's a way to share it without sharing photos of an infant.
Yeah.
Just post on your story and be like, my niece, whoever had her baby, it's a healthy baby. Thank you so much for caring, or like sending your well wishes.
My one friend posted, I think, like the baby's hand in some way, like holding a finger or something, like, and announced like the birth, which was nice. And like, it was a nice update that I'm sure people were waiting for. I was, you know, obviously waiting for it, but it also wasn't putting the baby's face out there and like, just a lot of like personal information.
I get why people care, and like I feel like I am coming off as negative, being like, no matter what you post on social media, like nobody cares. Like
we're like, we hate you.
Literally, if you've ever been married or had a kid, I unfollowed you.
We literally hate you.
But I don't know, like it's more just coming from a place of like, you don't need to feel this pressure to post and share because nobody cares about it as much as you do. And while people may appreciate it and it sparks their interest for a few seconds while they scroll, it's not make or breaking anything. And if it's make or breaking you to post and you're not like a celebrity who has to make a statement, like that's probably not a good thing.
Right.
Yeah, I guess that's what it is. It's like, it's okay to care a little bit. Everyone cares a little bit. But if you're like starting family drama because someone that you love is having a baby and they say, we're not going to post photos or their name on social media, and you're starting a fight, like you're like rioting because you can't share their baby's picture, like maybe let's take a step back. Like maybe let's reassess. Why do we care so much about social media, and why do we care so much about sharing this baby's face with thousands or millions of strangers?
Right.
I feel like that's the like issue. Yeah. Okay, I'm so sorry if it seems like I don't care about you. I do feel like I was being negative. I don't know.
No, we love you. We love you all.
Please show me your baby.
Keep posting whatever you want, but also,
yes.
Yeah.
Also, if there's someone in your life that you respect and love and they request that you do not share a certain photo, you should probably just respect them. There's still a way to update your family and your friends and keep people in a loop without sharing literal photographs of another human.
Yeah.
Yeah. I literally feel like I just like gave someone a lecture.
No,
I was just like screaming like,
you're
nobody
not special.
fucking cares about you.
Yeah.
Yeah, like God damn. Can you take a deep breath? I'm like telling people to take a step back and like relax, and I'm like, all of this advice is for myself.
No, same. I was gonna
need
say,
to relax.
I still have, like we said, we still have those like intrusive thoughts where it's like, I need to post this or else people won't know that I did it and they'll think I missed out on it and then I'm not cool because I wasn't a part of it.
Yeah.
But other people were a part of it. It's like, I need to prove that I was also there.
Yeah.
Like, no.
No, you really don't.
No, you really don't, and no one cares. And yeah, I feel like like on the daily, I'm like, chill. I just have to tell myself like it's not that deep.
Yes, it's literally not that deep. Mm-hmm. There are so many of the stories that I pulled today that reminded me of like just things that happened in my own life. Maybe I'll start with one of them because it's like literally it's not that deep. It's fine. We're all fine. But no, I feel you too because literally today, like I was saying earlier, when I go out to like a bar or something and it's like I wear the cute outfit and I take the cute picture and I'm like, oh, I want to share this. And there's nothing wrong with wanting to share it. But I feel like it's maybe a good time to do self-reflection when you feel that you have to post it or like something is like going wrong. Because like maybe your followers find it interesting when you post about the restaurant or the bar that you went to and they're like, oh, cool. Like Kelly went to that bar. Like, cool. Whatever. But nobody is sitting around thinking about me, being like, I wonder what Kelly's doing tonight. Yeah. Is she at a bar? Like, no, people just don't think like that. Yeah. Unless you like have a crush on someone or like, of course, there's like those few people that you like, you know how sometimes you just like make people into a celebrity in your mind or like in your friend group, you're like, ooh, this person, like, and it's fun. Yeah.
And it's like they post a story, like I eat it up.
Yeah.
I'm like, watch them first.
I know. Yeah. No, I do that too. Yeah. And like there's influencers or like photographers that I love. And like if they're posting on their story, I'm every single time I want to watch it because it's entertaining. But it's not like I log on for like normal people that I don't have like emotional attachment to. And it's just like a friend or an acquaintance or whatever that I follow. I'm like, nobody's like waiting for you to post in the nicest way possible. Yeah. So like it's okay to not care about it. And it's okay to not go on Instagram. Like sometimes I just don't go on Instagram at all. And it's such a good feeling like to go like a day or whatever without going on it and like actually hold yourself to it. And I feel like the longer I go off of it, the less I care about it. And also in general, Instagram is becoming like, I just think it's very boring and like uninteresting.
I agree.
I don't know why.
And you know what? Actually, what I've done recently that I think is very admirable of myself, I must say, I've muted almost every person that I follow on their stories.
That's so good.
Yeah. I had been thinking that I had to do this a while ago because I waste a lot of time scrolling through stories that either give me anxiety, make me mad, or I don't care about them. So I'm like, why am I watching these?
And so many people do that.
Yes.
It's so ingrained in us.
Yeah. But I saw a TikTok from Strawberry Milk Mob. Have you ever seen her?
No, what is that?
I don't know. She's just like some girl on TikTok.
Oh, okay.
I just love her name, so I had to say it. But she said that she just doesn't watch stories and she saves like hours of her time just like by not watching stories. And I was like, okay, that's my sign to actually like finally do it and just mute everyone. So it's not like I went through my follower who I'm following and just like muted everyone, but it's like kind of as their stories pop up, I will click on them and like mute them. And I'm just like, I'm very happy with myself. Yeah. I mean, my boyfriend like deleted all social media and I'm like, wow, like that's
So did he delete the apps or his actual accounts?
Yeah, just the apps.
Okay.
Yeah, but I mean,
it's the same
probably
thing.
never ever re-download them unless like he needs to, but I was like, that's like really good. I don't think I could do that though. So I feel like this is a good start, and it's like, it's like getting rid of the importance in my head that this has been like holding on to. Yeah. So I feel a little bit like free, not being, glued to my phone and stuff. Yeah. I mean, TikTok's another story. Like I will spend hours on TikTok.
Yeah. We all have our vices though.
And there are some people on Instagram who like I don't mute them because like either they're like a loved one or like a close friend and like I want to stay up to date, or I'm like, I just crack myself up. I'm like, I can't mute this person because they just had a baby. And I need to
Literally everything we just said was a lie.
I'm a fraud. And then I'm like, I need to keep up with the baby.
No. Literally everything we just said.
But if they go overboard, I will mute you.
Yeah.
You know?
Okay.
I just really like babies. And
No,
people.
That's a good example of those like random instances where you do actually wait for people. But it's like everyone you've ever met in your life that you follow on Facebook or are friends with on Facebook, whatever, those are not the people you're waiting for. It's like a random one-off here and there thing.
And some people, they'll post like really cool restaurants that they go to and they'll tag them, and I do find that I like benefit from watching their stories, but a lot of them I'm like, whatever, I'm still gonna mute you because like I already have a long list of restaurants that I need to visit in the area. I'm like, I don't need more. But there is like a benefit to some people that I follow where I'm like, I do enjoy your content, but I'm like, no, I just have to mute everyone because it's just such a time waster. Other people, like if they post like creative content, I feel like I do benefit from that too. Like I enjoy seeing that. So some people made the cut, didn't get the snip.
That's why I feel like it's hard because like social media overall, people are so quick to be like, oh, it's bad, because I think it can be so bad to have addictions to it or like have these emotional ties to it, but it can be good. Like entertainment is an important part of life, whether you like to admit it or not. Like so much of our lives revolve around entertainment, so like it's okay to use Instagram and TikTok to get entertainment, but I feel like the problem comes when you start like thinking about it when you're not consuming it and like basing your life around, and I'm talking like normal people, like of course an influencer or like if your job is Instagram, like I'm not talking about you, but like normal people who have normal jobs who don't need, like if they never went on Instagram again, their life would be the same, you know? Those are the people I'm talking about, and it's like I feel that with myself. I'm like I just feel the like negative parts of it, and I feel like with the watching of the stories, I have started muting certain people that it's weird because it'll be like if I have an emotional like attachment to them, like there's been guys or something, like let's say I met like a guy at a bar or something and I was like, oh, they're cute, whatever, and then when I see their Instagram pop up, I'm like, yeah, I can't spend time thinking about this random person. So I either like unfollow them or mute them. But I guess what I'm getting at is like sometimes I feel like watching someone's story so much creates this like false sense of connection to them. And it happens a lot with celebrities, and you have this like parasocial relationship with them where you subconsciously start to think that you're friends with them or that you know them, and then you become emotionally attached to them whether you want to or not. It's just like subconscious almost, and then you do feel the need to like go back, and I'm using you as like the general statement because this is, I feel like, things that have happened to me. Like there have been, I feel like I don't follow that many influencers actually, but there have been a few like content creators that I just find like really talented and interesting. So those people, I do like consume all of their content, and I'm like, oh my god, this girl, like, well, but it's like we don't know each other, and like why am I becoming emotionally tied to consuming her content? Like it's not always negative, but it could be like it could quickly turn into like, I just think it could turn negative to have an emotional attachment to like watching other people's lives. And let's say it is like people you went to high school with or college and you just watch their story every single day. There's nothing wrong with it, but like at the same time, like if it's affecting your mental health, like there's nothing wrong with it if you watch somebody's story and you move on and you never think about them until their name pops up again. Like that's fine. I have lots of people like that I'm like, oh, interesting person, like I hope they're doing well. I just think that when you constantly watch somebody's story, you can almost like trick yourself into thinking that this person matters in the grand scheme of your own life. And I've definitely had instances where I post a story because I want like a specific person or a specific group of people or something to see it. And I feel like that is what made me realize that I have to stop doing that. Or like that's when you have to hide that person from your story so they can't see it or something like that. Because it's like when you're posting for other people and you like really care about like who's watching your story and like, and this like comes and goes in my life still. Like I definitely fall into this trap. But I just feel like if you're creating emotional attachments to people and it revolves around someone's Instagram story, like that's just probably not the healthiest mindset to be in. And I feel like that's a good time to like hit mute and be done. I know. So I've muted, I follow like 800 something people. I think I've muted all but 20 of them. Did you mute me?
No. No, you made the cut.
Let's go.
But it was kind of hard for some people that I like once was close to and am no longer close to. Like I don't really keep in touch with them, or like I still feel like I have some emotional attachment to them, but we don't really talk. It's like, what am I getting out of their stories? Like if we wanted to catch up, I would honestly rather just have a conversation with them instead of like keeping up through their stories. And I have had instances where I'll be like, oh, how are you doing? And they're like, oh, like I did this, like, and it almost seemed like they were surprised I didn't know, but it's because I think I missed one of their stories. And it's like, that just feels so strange to me. And I just would rather have the conversation where we like catch up and reunite that way than like kind of like falsely keep in touch just by posting public stories.
Right.
Like kind of back and forth. I don't know. So
that is a weird dynamic.
Yeah, but it was hard. But yeah, I did mute a lot of people, and I'm just hoping that if I ever, reach out to them again or like run into them, like I could just, talk in person with them and like catch up that way. So
I also think that what we were talking about earlier, like a while ago at this point, but when you said the thing about when you watch these people's stories, it brings you like anxiety or anger or like just another negative emotion, like regardless of what it is.
Feel left out.
Yeah.
Which is weird because I would never be invited, it evokes weird emotions in me sometimes. And I'm like, okay, they've got to go.
Yes.
Then. Yeah.
I remember right after college, I was with the girl that I started working for. I was just like venting to her about all these people that I follow and how it's so annoying that they like always post and I just get angry and like annoyed. Just like people that weren't nice to me. And I would be like watching their stories or following them, whatever. And she's like, why do you follow them then? And I was like, oh my God, I don't know. I was like, I actually don't know. And then I unfollowed everyone that made me feel that way. And I was such a happier person. Since then, anytime that's a thing, I either unfollow them or mute them. And I almost feel like it's sad that unfollowing someone almost is like rude.
Yeah, I agree.
Because it's like, you don't bring me joy.
Right.
It's like, why will it come off as rude if I unfollow you? And to be completely honest, I wouldn't give a shit if you followed me or not. We're not friends.
Yeah.
So why do we have to follow each other just to maintain this like, oh, well, I'll just keep following them to be nice.
Yeah.
Why? Nice. It's not nice or mean to follow someone or not follow someone. Like,
no,
it's Instagram.
I agree.
It doesn't make you nice or mean.
But that's why I've muted people.
Yeah.
Because of that, like if anyone were to ever find out that I unfollowed them,
you'd like feel bad.
Yeah. Exactly.
You're like, I'm sorry. Like, I just am like overwhelmed by Instagram and I don't need to follow every single person I've ever met.
Yes.
Yeah. I unfollow people a lot and I kind of feel bad about it sometimes. But then like in life, we are so connected to so many people and that's like not natural. Like the amount of people that we are connected to because of social media, this is like the first time in the history of the world that's happening. And it just affects us so much. Like you don't have time or energy in life to like be able to connect with this many people. So like it's okay to take a step back and not have that connection. Like, I don't know. It's I just think about that sometimes with like my parents' friends and people they went to high school with. It's like they will never see those people, or most of them. Like they will probably never see most of those people again. And like that's fine. Yeah. Because they weren't friends. I'm getting so off topic here, but like I just think overall it doesn't show kindness or meanness to be friends with someone on Facebook or not. Yeah. Or to follow someone on Instagram or not. Like if someone unfollows you, like, yeah, sure, they could have bad intentions. They could be like wanting to get to you, but like also maybe they just are cleaning out their Instagram and they don't need to be reminded of everyone they've ever met in their life that they were friends with for 1 year in college and then never spoke to again. Right. Would it make me a bad person to unfollow somebody that I had a class with in college and I never will talk to in person again? Like, no, I don't know. I just think that like following someone or not following someone, that like doesn't get you an award. Right. Like it doesn't make you like better or worse to follow people or not.
Yeah. Normalize cleaning out your social media.
Yeah.
And normalize being cleaned out.
Yes. So true. So true. Don't get offended when people don't follow you. Yeah. Or unfollow you.
The whole like follower to following ratio is just so messed up. Yeah. The whole like culture around that.
I agree. Okay, now that we've completely strayed from family drama, should we return?
Maybe.
Or I just like keep repeating myself.
Yeah.
And like, I feel like sometimes I just like, when we talk about like overarching topics like this, I say like the same idea in different ways. But I feel like that is just how people talk though.
Yeah.
Because at the same time, it's like, there's so many little examples that lead to the same like
point.
Yeah. Yeah. So I don't know. I feel bad.
Well,
like,
like sometimes I don't understand what someone's saying until they say it in a different way.
Yes.
5 different times.
Yeah.
And then I'll like, then I get it.
And then also it's for myself.
Yeah.
Like the point of like making these like little points and repeating the exact same thing is because I'm like, oh yeah, I am valid in how I'm feeling because every single situation like leads to the same outcome, you know?
Exactly.
Although I know everything is nuanced and I actually spiral and I feel like
I was going to say I'm watching you spiral right now.
Spiraling because I feel like I've learned a lot from the podcast and like talking to people in the comments because people are so set in their ways, including myself. And then I'm like, oh, this is just true. And then people will comment and be like, oh, well, I live a happy life and I'm the opposite. And I'm like, wow, crazy. And I'm like why did I walk around? Yeah, like why do I walk around being like, this is true? I'm like, no, it's true for me. It's true for my friend and my like cousin, but like it's not true for everyone on earth. And I feel like that's just really important to understand. And I am trying to keep that in mind. And that's why I feel bad when we go off and we're like, none of it matters. And I'm like, well, it does sometimes, but yeah. Okay. But I'm going to try to stop spiraling right now.
Wait, I have to take this off because I'm sweating a little bit. Rebecca, you are my favorite. Aaron, you are not. Jimmy, you are not. Kelly, you are not. I'm just kidding. I love everyone. I'm sorry.
I love the shirts.
I know, me too. I think they're so funny.
If anyone's not watching right now, we have shirts that say blank is my favorite, and it's all of our podcast members. So Trisha was just wearing the one that said Rebecca is my favorite, but she's taking it off because it's so hot.
I'm just
a
little hot.
No, I'm actually sweating too, and I feel like it's because I'm working myself up.
Yeah, we just both had an existential crisis.
I know.
For the 100th time on this podcast.
I know. This whole podcast is just me like spiraling and like screaming into a microphone, and then I'm like, why did I get that mad? And what was this for?
But like, who needs a therapist when you can do this?
Yeah, honestly, true. And then I feel like the people in the comments that like give me other perspectives, like they play my therapist as well, because I'm like, wow, shoot, life is intricate and complicated and I don't know everything. I don't even know a fraction of things. Actually, I know nothing.
And you can spiral because of that too.
Yeah, exactly. Speaking of, this is such a perfect transition that I could not have planned if I tried. Speaking of the
We're
Rebecca,
just so candid.
I know. We're so good at what we do. Speaking of the Rebecca is my favorite shirt, I'm going to read the first story. This is the one that I mentioned literally an hour ago when I was like, oh, I'll start with the story that I have a personal thing. And then I spoke for an hour about...
So did I.
I don't even know what.
Okay.
Okay. Am I the asshole for refusing to take down a Facebook post about my husband being a good dad because my father got offended? I'm in a little bit of a pickle here. My husband and I have 2 children, a 1-year-old and a 3-year-old. As you can imagine, sometimes this gets hectic. I've been a little stressed and tired lately. Being a stay-at-home mom is quite a bit of work, and I was telling my husband I felt like I needed a little break. He gave me some cash and told me to plan a fun girls' day for me and my best friend. So today my friend and I went to get mani-pedis and to brunch. When I got home, my husband was sitting playing Barbies with our kids, and he was really into it. It was really cute watching this 6'4" man sitting on the floor playing Elsa with the kids and being really invested in the part. So I took a few pictures. I know he's been working really hard and is also really tired, and I appreciated the fact that he really wanted to give me a nice day. So I posted a picture of him on the floor with the kids with the caption, "World's best husband and father. Words cannot express my love and appreciation for this man." Well, my own father saw the post and angry reacted to it. My mom called me later and told me my dad was really hurt and stated that he really tried to be a good dad, etc. And the post made him feel like I was saying he wasn't a good father. I told my mom I didn't want to change the post caption. My mother got really upset and told me I was going to give my dad a heart attack. I think I might be the asshole here because it is a little petty to refuse to change a caption for the sake of family harmony. So am I the asshole?
Wow.
I think my first thought is it ain't that deep.
Yes. Yeah. Everyone's gonna post like, oh, my dad's the best or my husband's the best or whatever. And it doesn't mean that you are not the best too.
I feel the exact same way. I like typed out some notes on this because I didn't know how to describe this.
Yeah.
But I feel like
I'm struggling with this, but also it's like very obvious like how we feel. Yeah.
It should be obvious to
right.
people. Like I feel like it's the example of like, this is what I wrote down.
Okay.
Of saying like, I have the best mom, or like she's just the best sister. I feel like when you're having casual conversation, that just implies that they're the best sister to you, or they're the best mom to you.
Yeah.
And like he's the best father to his kids. Like he's the best possible father he could be for them. When you write things on social media, it's an opinion. It's a personal view. Right. And it's about your own life. Like things like this, I mean. But
yeah, it's not like if I say my mom is the best, my neighbor's going to come pound on my door and say like, well, am I not the best?
Exactly.
Mom too? Like...
I literally wrote down,
what?
It's not a peer-reviewed scholarly thesis claiming to be the actual truth of the world. People are so dramatic, and I think it's because they're bored and insecure. That's what I said.
Yep.
Like, if someone were to make a post about Trisha and be like, she's the most beautiful girl inside and out. She is the funniest person I've ever met. She's just the best sister, the best girlfriend. You're going to love her when you meet her. Am I going to sit around and be like, F you? I'm sitting right here. You're really going to say that in front of me, and you're gonna say that I am not the best. I'm not the best sister, right. So I'm just not a good sister because you're saying she's the best, so I must be shit. Like, what are you trying to prove here? What are you trying to do? All this is for absolutely what?
Like it's not like that was said about me with the thought that Kelly is not the best.
Exactly. People take things so personally as if like everything people think, they think about you first.
Yes.
Like it goes back to our original point. You're not that important. You're not that special. In the nicest way possible, people don't think about you. Right. So when you're reading all these people's Instagram captions and tweets and whatever, and you're like, are they like subtweeting me? Probably not. Odds are they didn't think about you that day. At least that's how I go about life. And when I talk and do things and form relationships, like I just don't think about other people. I don't know. I just feel like sometimes people are like, they give themselves too much credit.
Yeah.
And it's like, nobody's thinking about you. And that's okay. Like that's even better for you to know, because now you don't have to go and spiral and think that every time somebody compliments somebody else, it's a personal attack on you. Grow up.
Literally. No, it just feels like at the same time, like, this woman or whatever, she posted this about her life outside of social media, but I feel like certain people, their whole life is social media.
Yeah.
She had a nice thought about her real life experience, and she threw up a little like Facebook post and moved on with her day.
Right.
I don't know why in my head I'm just picturing someone's face like literally stuck to their screen at all times, like they're just like only living life like through their screen and their computer.
I feel like I know what you mean. It's like people that think that if it wasn't posted on social media, you don't think it's true, or it's not true.
Right.
So maybe this comes from a weird relationship dynamic they have like outside of this situation. Who knows? Who knows why this dad took it personally? But like, just because she didn't post it on social media or like sing your praises on social media doesn't mean she doesn't feel that way. Or like she doesn't think that you're a great dad as well. Like two things can be true at once.
Right.
And just because it doesn't say it on her Facebook page, like doesn't mean she doesn't love you and appreciate everything you did. Yeah. And I feel like another example of this is when the Kardashians, like every single, how many Kardashians are there? There's like 10, and then now there's like 25
about
grandkids.
34.
Yeah, there's so many. Every single time it's one of their birthdays, they all post, especially Kris Jenner, and she's like, Khloe is the best mom. Like, Kim is the best mom. Like, North is the most beautiful granddaughter. Like, she says it about every single one of her kids and grandkids, and none of them are like, really? The best?
Right.
The best.
How dare
like,
you?
It's not that deep, okay? It's literally an Instagram caption. It's not like absolute fact. It's fine.
It's just a compliment. Like, just let that person have their compliment.
Yes. It's so annoying when people take things so personally. Like, oh my God, one time I was dating this guy and we were at the beach. We just got coffee and like a donut in the morning on a Saturday. It was like so nice outside. And I was like, oh my God, yay. Like, are we going to have like a really fun beach day? This man literally was like, what? Like, are all the other days not fun? That relationship ended very soon after. I was like, I cannot deal with like the like thinking that everything is a personal attack on you. Like,
yes.
Where does that come from? Like, all I said is, oh my God, are we gonna have a fight? It was so lighthearted.
Right.
I think you know me well enough by now to know that I just like get excited over certain things. I don't know. I'm just like, are you good?
Yeah.
Literally, are you good? Like, thanks for ruining my whole mood.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna throw this coffee in the trash now.
Yeah. And go home.
Yeah. This is so annoying. But I feel like the dad's doing the same thing.
Yeah.
You're so dramatic. Just like get over it. So no, you're not an asshole for showing your gratitude for your husband. Your dad just needs to grow up.
Mm-hmm.
One more side note that story reminded me of. I used to work for a wedding dress brand. We would get so many random DMs of people like complaining about what we posted. It was a massive brand.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, I could see that actually.
Yeah. And like some of them were valid. Like there was a time where we posted a picture. It was like a picture of a couple popping champagne in like Yosemite or like some natural part of the world. I don't even know. People DM'd us and they were like, you shouldn't post this because it encourages like people doing this and like pouring champagne on rocks in the woods and leaving the cork. And I was like, okay, you know what? That might be true. I could see that.
Is it encouraging it?
No. You could argue, I guess, because somebody would be like, oh, well, I want that photo too. Like, I don't know. I get where you're coming from. Like, I get where your concern lies. Like, those weren't like the worst of it. But there was one caption that we posted that was something along the lines of like, our brides are just the most beautiful with like heart eyes, or like, brides are so beautiful, or you'll be the most beautiful on your wedding day with like this gown of ours, or something like that. Very like branded copy that is made to sell a product to a consumer. Like, it's really not that deep. This girl who already DM'd us like all these hate comments about stupid shit, DMs us about that post and is like, really? Brides are the most beautiful? Are you saying that if I'm not married and I'm never a bride that I'm not beautiful? Literally, that's what she said. I was like, baby, this is a wedding dress brand.
Yeah.
We are trying to sell wedding dresses
we are
to brides.
Marketing.
Yeah. I'm like, do you think that if PetSmart posted dogs are just the best pets, heart, 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 on National Dog Day, are you implying that fish are not good pets? My cat is offended. Like, be so for real.
Yeah.
Like, read the room. Like, if Sony or Canon were to post cameras are just the best possible thing to bring on a trip. Really? Like, you don't think I should bring clothes and a suitcase on my trip? Like, it's a camera brand. What do you think they're going to talk about? It's a wedding dress brand. What do you think they're going to talk about? Like, come on.
People just like can't help themselves. They're asking these questions, but everyone knows the answers.
Yes.
There is plenty of context to understand what the brand meant by that marketing ploy.
Yes.
And what they didn't intend for people to like take away from it.
Yes.
But people just love to like stir the pot and like pretend to be dumb and like play devil's advocate and like whatever you want to call it. Yeah, just calm down. Like, you don't have to do this in every little avenue of your life.
Yeah.
Like this is an ad that popped up on your Instagram and you just can't help yourself, but you have to say something. Like
I imagine her telling that story to other people, like in her own life. Like, did she go to dinner that day and she's like, oh my God, this wedding dress brand, you won't believe what they posted. And it's like, oh my God, what did they post? They said brides are the most beautiful. They really think that if I'm not a bride, I'm not beautiful. Like, I would hope that everyone is like, are you good?
Yeah.
Like, did you just have like a headache when you woke up this morning and this is what set this off? Because are you actually okay?
Right.
Like, of course, like, I just think people love drama. Like, people can sit around and be like, I hate drama. I love like being chill. I'm a cool girl, no drama. People love drama. It's like ingrained into our like psychological makeup. I don't know. People love it. It's okay, I guess, sometimes. But like, care about like other people's care about like a celebrity gossip column, or like care about like some stupid shit that doesn't affect you. Like, why do people love to be so like, I guess because it makes them feel involved. Like, she's like bringing herself into it. If I don't get married, I'm not beautiful. I'm like, oh, this isn't about you.
She like really thinks that she's like doing something with that comment too. She's really sticking it to your brand.
Yeah, like this literally has nothing to do with you.
Yeah.
It just is insane when people use the comments like the best or like the most wonderful. It's like, we can all take a step back and know that this is a casual conversation or it's an ad. Like, it's okay.
It does not claim to be fact or true in any way.
I know. And like, we can cite our sources. Brides are the most beautiful, and I'll cite my sources APA. Like, come on. You're a smart girl. I know you are.
Yeah.
Like, use your brain. Okay, we can move on. I feel like we can change wavelengths a little bit.
Okay.
Am I the asshole for uninviting my sister to Christmas dinner after I found out she posted my fiance's ring in a ring-shaming Facebook group? This is like a really old post, but I was like, I feel like this could be relevant for any time. And Facebook groups are just getting like out of hand, I think.
I was just going to say that kills me that there's an entire group dedicated to ring shaming.
Like the amount of Facebook groups that have like their own drama, it's so funny. I proposed to my fiance last week. Her and my sister have always gotten along really well. Last night, my fiance began getting screenshots from random people of a post my sister had made in this group of over 110,000 people, bashing my fiance's ring. We didn't even know these types of groups existed.
Why would you?
Yeah. And how do you find that?
Literally.
And you just go searching, I hate engagement rings on Facebook.
Yeah.
My fiance is incredibly upset. I called my sister and told her to take it down. She apologized but said it was too late to take it down, and it was all in good fun. She said that people in these groups just do it for laughs and don't mean any harm by it.
That's bullying.
What? Oh, it's just all in good fun. It's like, no, you're literally insulting people.
Yes.
What?
No.
Regardless of the intent, harm was done, and now my fiance and I don't want my sister to come to our home for Christmas dinner. My mother is incredibly upset that I uninvited my sister. Even though she thinks what my sister did was wrong, she thinks since my sister apologized, and since she's always had a dark sense of humor, we should accept her apology and not upset my grandparents by not having all of their grandchildren there. I think once I explain to them why having my sister there will upset my fiance, they will understand. Am I the asshole? Since everyone is so curious, it's a 3.5 round solitaire with a pave band. Pave band?
I don't really know either.
My sister insulted the band, said it looked gaudy, said no one will ever believe it's a real diamond, though she knows it's a real diamond from our great-grandmother's engagement ring, and said my fiance only likes it because she has disgusting taste.
Oh my gosh.
She saw the ring before I proposed and said she loved it. Oh, okay, wow, this is like so much deeper than I thought.
The sister said she loved it before?
Mm-hmm. I mean, I feel like she's jealous, right?
Yeah, mate.
Because why did he get this like beautiful diamond? Wait. Also, what's the thing about like no one's gonna believe it's a real diamond?
Yeah.
What the fuck is a real diamond? Shut up.
Literally get over yourself. And like man-made diamonds are more environmentally friendly, and they can be more humane and eco-friendly.
But also it doesn't even matter. Like,
no, there is no shame in whatever rock you decide to go with.
Oh my god,
if you even want one, like.
Wait, everyone Google what 3.5 carat solitaire pave band is. I think it's beautiful. Like, how can you think that is ugly?
Wow.
That is like the most stereotypical, like, perfect
engagement. Yeah, I would say that's very timeless.
Yeah, what?
That's really pretty.
I think this girl is deeply jealous and insecure, and she's trying to, I don't know, take it. Or maybe she's not. Maybe she actually just like doesn't like the ring.
Yeah.
That's okay. Like, this isn't everyone's style. But why do you have to go? Like, this group feels like its only intent is to be mean.
Yes.
So, like, how are you going in there with like a very, very common, like stereotypically like traditional and beautiful engagement ring and being like, can you guys frickin' believe this?
Yeah.
Did everyone in the group agree with you? Because that engagement ring is like, you know how sometimes you can admit that something is beautiful or good even though you don't like it?
Right. Yes.
Like, the ring, how can you say that that's not beautiful?
Yeah, it's very like standard looking.
Yeah,
like,
it's like a pretty diamond on a band of diamonds. Like,
very simple.
I think like most people can admit that it has beauty. Like, why do we have to go and like rip something apart? Like, I mean, that's not even the point though. Like, even if it was fucking hideous, even if everyone on earth who saw it thought it was ugly except the bride, like, we still don't need to make fun of it.
No, we don't. I don't understand why people, I feel like I've said this a million times in this podcast, but like, and I mean, like, I am not, like exempt from this, but why do people get so pressed about other people's like very small parts of their lives that like don't affect you at all?
I literally think it is because drama is entertaining.
Yeah.
It is more entertaining to be like, oh my God, did you see how ugly her ring is? Than to be like, damn, that ring's freaking gorgeous.
Yeah.
And I'm jealous.
That's very true.
Like, that is to say like something is beautiful and you love it, that ends a conversation.
Yeah.
Like, it's like that tag tagline about news, if it bleeds, it leads. Like, if it is, that's why the news is all negative stuff, because if it was all like butterflies and rainbows, people wouldn't watch it. So it's like the same thing with drama. It's like people will make anything into drama because it is more entertaining than something positive. And it's like, why are you, like, especially because it's your freaking sister-in-law.
Yes.
Like, I mean, I don't get it because I don't think it's ever okay. But like, if you saw like a strange, or like if you saw some random picture on the internet and you were like, oh my God, look at this random thing I saw. Okay. I still don't think it's nice, but like, okay, you're really going to do that to your sister-in-law? That's so fucking mean.
Yeah, that's very mean and just unnecessary.
Yeah.
Like, everyone can just like, you can just carry on with your life unaffected and not say anything. You could think to yourself you wouldn't choose that for yourself. But like, I don't understand like expending the energy, even though it's just a Facebook post and it's not like that much effort. Like the minimal energy to do that just seems excessive to me. Like, I just don't understand it. Like, I don't know.
I think she has internalized resentment towards this couple for some reason.
Probably.
Because if you actually loved someone, like, I'm thinking like, okay, let's say my sister gets engaged and I think the ring is ugly. I'm not going to say one fucking word. Like, I don't need to say anything because I love my sister. We have a very positive relationship and I would never want to say anything that would hurt her. And also my opinion doesn't matter. The only thing that matters is her opinion of the ring. And if she's happy with it, I'm going to keep my mouth closed and congratulate her just the same. And I would do that with anyone I loved and cared about. But if I was mad at someone, if like my friend was recently mean to me and then they got engaged, I might be like, and you know what? Your ring's fucking ugly. Because I have internalized resentment towards them. And it makes me say things maybe I don't mean, or maybe I wouldn't say if they weren't mean to me, or if I wasn't angry at them. I feel like these statements of like negativity or bullying like come from a place of like, I do not like this person.
Yeah, and to go into this group of 110,000 people, like, they're probably all like-minded if they're part of this group, so they're only like validating and probably perpetuating like your own thoughts.
No, that's so true.
So,
it just makes me mad because, like, if you genuinely loved and supported someone, I just don't think there would ever be a reason to talk negatively about them on the internet. Because it's like, that's embarrassing. Like, okay, let's say my sister received a stereotypically ugly ring. Like, I can't even imagine what it would be because I think most jewelry's pretty. But, like, I don't know. Let's say I thought it was so ugly.
Maybe it has, like...
Oh, yeah, or it's, like, the shape of it's, like, one of those corny... Or it looks like... Or something. Like, I don't know.
Or it's...
Yeah.
Not that anything's wrong with that, but that's a little out there.
Yeah, it's not stereotypical. See, that's what I mean. Like,
I'm
even
trying
now,
to think of like
even now, I feel bad saying this because I'm like, if somebody likes that though, like that's fine. Like, it doesn't fucking matter what I think.
Yeah, exactly.
Because it's not mine.
I know.
Like, so I don't even want to like give an example, but like,
I know.
I don't know. Like, let's just say that it's like, picture the ugliest piece of jewelry you've ever seen. We've all seen a piece of jewelry we didn't think was pretty. Yeah. I'm gonna picture that. You can picture that. Listener, you picture it too. If my sister received this piece of jewelry, I would almost feel bad. I would be like, oh my God, I hope that she likes it, but like I know that people are gonna make fun of her and I don't want people to make fun of her. So I hope
people
honestly
already
that like
do make fun of Erin. Just kidding. I'm just kidding.
I'm not gonna comment. But like, I just think that wouldn't you be like looking out for them? Like, I would almost be going in this group, making sure that it's not in there. And if it was in there, I would be like, you know what? I think it's amazing. Like, and she loves it. I'd be coming to their defense to someone that I loved, but someone that I didn't like, someone that was mean to me, someone I had internalized resentment towards, someone that got the diamond, the heirloom diamond that maybe I wanted for myself, and it's causing me jealousy. I think I might make fun of them. Because when you're jealous or when you have resentment, it brings out a different side of you.
Yeah.
And it makes you, well, the general you. It makes me like mean. It makes me want to like be mean to someone if they're mean to me. So what does this sister not like about your wife or your fiance?
Yeah.
That's, I think, the real root of it. Doesn't have anything to do with the ring, probably. Something else is going on. Unless she's just stupid and dumb and she actually is mean.
Yeah, has like no insight or consideration for others.
Yeah, like she genuinely thinks that what she did is okay.
It's fine. Yeah, just for a good laugh.
She's like, oh yeah, it's just about a laugh. It's like, okay, cool. Yeah. Thanks so much. Thanks so much for going on the internet and laughing at me. Laughing at me. Not with me. Literally at me with 110,000 people.
Also, like, not her making fun of grandma's ring or her diamond.
Wait, yes.
That makes me really, that makes me really sad. And, like, grandpa, whoever, like, picked out that diamond with his hard-earned money. Don't be mean about that stuff. That is so mean.
Yes. Also, like, how can you just not... I don't know. Just like a classic solitaire diamond. Like, I get that not everybody's taste is the same, but like there are just some things that I feel like are inherently beautiful. Like flowers, trees, mountains, solitaire diamonds. Like, just be so for real. Yeah. Like, it's pretty. Yeah. And you know it is. But I don't know. I don't know. I just can't imagine like being part of a group that like is just like founded on making fun of people.
Right.
Making fun of people who are like, I don't know, who are just normal. And like, I'm sure this woman is just like a kind, like person who's just like excited to be engaged. And then she just finds out that 110,000 people are laughing at her.
She's just like minding her business. And
it's just all in good fun. It's harmless. No. Harmless to who? Maybe to you. Ugh. I hate it. It's so sad. The thing about the Christmas thing is so annoying because it's like, OP, yeah, he could be the bigger person. He could suck it up for the sake of his grandparents, like his mother said. But it's like, why should he have to do that?
Right.
She should be the bigger person. I liked what he said about regardless of the intent, harm was done. And I feel like that's like an important thing to keep in mind in like any situation. The impact is more important than the intent. And I feel like this girl just made a huge mistake and she just needs to realize that.
I think I mean, they said that she like apologized, but she needs to just delete the post. It's not too late. I don't know what that means, but.
Yeah, what is too late? Like, no, you're making excuses for yourself.
It's easy just to say sorry and move on, but to like actually act on your apology is harder.
Yeah.
And actually shows that like there is remorse and she's not giving that right now. So
no, she's not giving anything.
Yeah. I don't know if she should go to Christmas.
I wouldn't invite her.
Yeah.
I don't think he's an asshole for giving her the uninvite. Ugh. Okay, should we do one more?
Yeah.
And then we can do a part 3 because we didn't read any stories.
Pretty much.
I feel like this one is interesting and it's kind of like the opposite of the first one we did. So it could be a good like perspective moment.
Yeah.
Am I the asshole for asking my daughter-in-law to stop making social media posts that make me look bad? I have a son, Ryan, male 22. Ryan has a wife, Holly, female 22. They got married and moved in together around 4 months ago after dating for 3 years. I'm really happy for them. There's just a small problem though. Holly has recently started making posts on social media with jokes about how horrible mother-in-laws are all the time. When seeing them, I thought I did something to upset Holly. I asked her about it and she insisted that I hadn't upset her and that she just posts them because she thinks they're funny. I asked Ryan about it and he said that Holly never seemed upset at me and told me I'm overthinking it. But Holly keeps making these posts. The rest of the family have even been asking me if everything is okay between me, Ryan, and Holly because they've seen the post too. The last straw was when Holly made a post about arguments with mothers-in-law. Now everyone in my family thinks I argued with Holly when that didn't even happen. I asked Holly about it again and she said that once again she just posted it because she thought it was funny, not anything actually personal to me. I told Holly that she's making me uncomfortable and that she's making my family think I'm being horrible to her. Holly said that's not her problem and that people need to learn how to take a joke. I asked Holly to stop making these posts because people aren't going to interpret them that way. Holly said I'm being unreasonable and told me I can't tell her what to do and said I'm a bossy jerk. This is like the opposite, right? Of like one of the first or second stories we talked about. Because it's like not everything's about you, but like this is literally about her.
Yes, it has to be.
It has to be. Holly seems immature.
Yeah. I mean, she's 22.
True.
That frontal lobe.
Oh, yeah. It still has a few more years of forming.
It's still on its way. Wait, I sent you something and it was like when I'm 25 and my frontal lobe like arrives on my on my doorstep or something.
Yeah, she seems like she hasn't gotten her package in the mail yet.
If you're gonna make these like sensitive posts that could be interpreted directly about someone in your life, I feel like you've got to spread it out and do father-in-law posts, husband posts, like sister posts.
Yeah, like if you just think like
it seems targeted.
Yeah.
If you only do the same one joke over and over again.
Right. Like if you make the same joke over and over and over again, at what point is it no longer a joke?
Yeah.
Because I feel like jokes, this might not be true with everything, but I feel like a lot of jokes are rooted in truth. And that's why they're funny. Like if you watch a comedian or like stand-up comedy or whatever, all the jokes like pretty much relate to real life, and that's why they're funny. Mm-hmm. So what is making these jokes jokes? And what is making them funny? Like what's the punchline?
Yeah, exactly.
Or is the punchline that anyone who finds them funny actually just finds them relatable because they don't get along with their mother-in-law? Mm-hmm. I feel like maybe that's what it is. I think she doesn't like the mother-in-law and she's doing it on purpose.
I feel like the general consensus with social media, it's like if you repost something, it's typically because you find it relatable.
Right.
Because, like, I find stuff funny, but I don't find it relatable, so I'm probably not going to, like, repost it. I don't really repost in general, but...
Yeah. I know that I'm not, like, going to be able to think of, like, every possible example of a joke about a mother-in-law right now, but, like, I am really struggling to think about one thing that would be, like, a joke about a mother-in-law that I think would be funny. Because I do not have a mother-in-law. So I'm like, really, what would be like, if you don't have fights with your mother-in-law, what makes posts about fighting with your mother-in-law funny? And like, what makes them a joke? Like, it just doesn't make sense. I wish we had examples of like what they were.
Yeah.
Because she's just posting jokes about how horrible mother-in-laws are. Like, what does that mean? Those are not jokes.
No.
Like, maybe they're lighthearted statements, but I think the people that relate to them know that they're true. Like, maybe the way that they're delivered is lighthearted, and maybe that makes them funny. But at the end of the day, like, the root of the statement is true.
Yeah, it just makes me think, like, people make a lot of jokes about, like, Philly fans, like, sports fans being aggressive. And I feel like I see a lot of, like, Philly residents reposting or whatever, sharing those posts. And it's funny because it's relatable, but it's also maybe they're talking about themselves or, like, a friend or...
And there's truth to it.
And there's truth to it. But the minute someone from like outside of Philly maybe posts something like that, it seems more like a dig at Philly than it does just like a joke.
Yes.
If you know what I mean?
Yes.
Yeah. It just feels like it's kind of more like a dig at her mother-in-law than a joke.
It would almost be like if the mother-in-law posted it and was like, mother-in-laws are so like
crazy,
horrible. Like the crazy in-laws, like the crazy grandma that can't give up time with her grandkids. Like if a grandmother or a mother-in-law, whatever, posted that, they'd be like, LOL, yes, so true. Like, I just love my grandkids. I love my kids so much that I never leave them alone. Like, blah, blah, blah. Like, but then when someone else is posting the negative thing about the mother-in-law, it's like, no, you find that funny because you believe it.
Right.
You believe what the post is saying.
Yes,
you agree.
Yeah, exactly.
It's not a joke.
Exactly.
Yeah. I just think that, like, in a majority of those things, like, the reason you think it is funny and entertaining is because you agree with it. Mm-hmm. And I think Holly's giving herself away.
Yeah.
That's really weird. I mean, she definitely has like resentment towards the mother-in-law, but why is the question.
And it's just like, it's surprising to me, but maybe like, I don't know her, so maybe it's not surprising, but she's just seemed to be so blatant about this.
Yeah.
And then she's denying it. It's a weird situation to me.
I'm going to give her like the slightest benefit of the doubt and be like, maybe she is just dumb.
Yeah.
Like maybe she does just for some weird ass reason think that these random hurtful jokes are funny and she's valid in what she's saying. Mm-hmm. I just think that the chances of that being the case are slimmer than maybe just what we actually think.
Yeah. Or maybe she has like a sister or a friend who has a bad mother-in-law and they complain to her a lot.
Yeah.
So she kind of is thinking these posts are funny because she can kind of relate by default, I guess.
I could see that, actually. I could see that. Like, if all of her friends are dealing with it and they talk to her all day and they're like, well, guess what she did now? Mm-hmm. And Holly's like, oh my God, my mother-in-law doesn't do that, but that is crazy.
Yeah.
And then she sees these posts and she's like, oh, well, 10 of my friends just had the same thing. Like, haha, that is true. That is really true. And then she reposts it.
Yeah.
I could definitely see that being a possibility.
But, like, the thought would still cross my mind, like, I hope my mother-in-law doesn't take offense to this.
Yes.
Like, as I'm posting it, I can't imagine it doesn't cross her mind that it could be, like, interpreted negatively.
And then also, even if she didn't think about it, like, maybe in her mind, she's like, oh, well, I don't have a negative relationship with anyone, so there's no way that anyone in my life is going to think this is about them.
Yeah.
Which is like, okay, that's fine if you thought that. But then when that person actually approaches you, and tells you this is hurtful, people are coming to me thinking that these posts are about me. Like, it would just be so much easier if you could tell me to my face or just stop making the posts. It's hurting me. And then at that point, she still is like, oh, well, it's not about you, so I'm going to keep doing it. It's like, why? Like, what's more important to you? Sharing a meme on Facebook or having a positive relationship with your mother-in-law?
That's a tough one.
It's tough for Holly.
Yeah.
I think.
It sounds like it.
She's insane. Ugh. The top comment was, not the asshole. Holly is 100% doing this on purpose. If she has an issue with you, she should talk to you about it like a reasonable adult instead of making passive-aggressive points. Also, allowing everyone else in your family to believe that you had an argument with her that didn't happen is incredibly manipulative on Holly's part. I agree with that. And I think that if you were going to share something like this about your friend's situation, the easiest way to do it would be saying, OMG, I've heard so many stories about this, so this makes me giggle, but I'm extra thankful that my mother-in-law is so great and I can't relate, or like something like that.
Some disclaimer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Literally doing a disclaimer, being like, this is hilarious because my mother-in-law is the opposite, or something like that. But her just throwing these up and not giving any disclaimer, like it's so obvious.
Yeah.
Ugh, she's so annoying.
Holly.
The second top comment is, but Holly sure sounds like a peach. Humor is only funny if it doesn't hurt anyone. True.
Yeah.
Fight fire with honey, though. If you use social media, just post some really nice things about family and make sure she's included. Have a nice visit. Post about how thankful you are for your visits with family. I kind of like that, too.
Yeah.
But it's also like, why should this mother-in-law now have to go out of her way to use Facebook and like post about her family events just so that people don't read too far into Holly's random posts? Like, ugh, she's so annoying.
Yeah, that is very annoying.
I feel like the son needs to talk to her.
Yeah.
Yeah. Ew. That's so annoying. People are so stubborn sometimes.
I know.
I feel like it
actually
comes
crazy.
with stubbornness, this one. It's like, what's the reason? Like, it's going to make everyone's life easier if you don't post a meme on your Facebook. Like, social media, it's not that deep. Let it go.
Yeah.
I could just talk for so much longer about all of this, but I'm really going to try to not repeat myself.
Yeah.
And we can leave it at that.
Okay.
And maybe we can do part 3.
Part 3 coming soon.
Yeah, literally. Hopefully you guys like this episode. I feel like we maybe started off negative, but I do feel like we roped it back in.
Yes.
Into being positive. I hope.
We roped it back in.
I don't know. Sometimes I listen to episodes and like, you're a hater.
We controlled ourselves.
Yeah, kind of.
But what's the fun in that, you know?
Yeah, we love drama. We're human just
Exactly.
like you.
Yeah.
Thank you guys so much for listening. Please tell us what you think in the comments. Tell me if I'm wrong. I'm really curious. I feel like what we were saying, though, is like very much our experience with social media. And I do also have a lot of positive interactions on it. So it's not all bad. So I'm sorry if I seem negative.
I just think it's interesting for us because we're kind of like millennial people, so we were like around and aware humans at like the rise of social media, and we've seen it go from like Facebook to now a million apps, and I feel like we saw Instagram from start to where it is now and stuff, and the evolution. So I just feel like we have an interesting take on it, and we kind of see the good and the bad, whereas I feel like maybe different ages see more good than bad, or vice versa. So yes, these are just our opinions from our experience,
and they are absolute fact.
Exactly. And don't forget that, and if you disagree, you're wrong,
and our sources will be cited. APA, MLA in the comments,
CDC, just kidding. Just keep saying acronyms. FBI and CIA.
Thank you. And that's that on that. Thank you so much for listening to our episode. We love you. We appreciate you, and we'll see you in the next one. Bye.
Bye.